like there's
annoying.
so many situations that could happen right now. It could be all true, and JT's agent's like, yo, like don't even like pay any mind to it. Just say you're fine, everything's fine. It could also be the Colts are playing petty, and they're like, look, if you want to play like this, we can play like this and put you on the NFI and say that you hurt your back in the offseason. Episode 50, Tiebreaker Podcast. We made it through not 10 episodes, 20, 30, 40, and now we're at 50 episodes, and Bailey's in a Hawaiian shirt. So
Listen, you keep telling me it's a Hawaiian shirt, and I don't think it's Hawaiian. It's just a button-up with a bunch of cool flowers on it.
well, if you look into my screen right now, you're going to see what this episode's about. Hold on, let me see this right here. Actually, it's Bailey's side. This is Jim Irsay. So
Yeah.
Jim Irsay episode, a lot of JT drama going on. We went to training camp a couple times. We've seen what the Colts look like. We're going to talk a lot about the Colts this episode. It just sucks, man. This JT situation is just heart-wrenching.
It's
right
one
now.
of those things where it was, I feel like, at least in my opinion, it was like the last thing you ever thought would happen. And then now this is what we're dealing with. It's like, how is this even this big of a deal, in my opinion?
Yeah, it's just weird because players were getting paid last year. JT comes in with his agent, and he's like, you know what? I think I should get paid. Wants to set the market. There's a rumor that it was $16 million. That's just insane. Like
That's what he was wanting, was 16 mil. That's what people were
yeah,
saying.
I think it's like 16 mil a year, and that's a rumor. That's not anything confirmed or anything, but apparently he suffered an injury sometime outside of the season from his MRI they showed. There's been reports that he was in Arizona he was training. There's just it's just all over the place with all the information that's coming out. You don't really know what's 100% true or not. JT comes back on Twitter, says he's never had back pain, and he's never reported anything about his back. But
Yeah.
apparently it's a true thing that the MRI was a thing that happened, and they showed that he had something wrong with his back.
You know what I don't understand
know,
is
man.
just last week, the first day, it might have been on report day last week, Chris Ballard met with the media and said that that everything was like fine, like injury wise with JT, like mainly talking about his recovery from his ankle injury. He said like he was pretty much hinting that everything was on schedule. He's fine. I think Irsay has even come out maybe it was in the spring when he said it, that JT was healthy, ready to go. So how from last Tuesday when everyone got to training camp and Ballard met with the media, and now Monday that all of a sudden his back is tweaking, and I don't know if you've seen any videos of him from today that people have tweeted, but dude, he's like I didn't really notice it there, but he's like walking weird. I don't know. I feel like he's doing that on purpose at this point.
I have no idea, dude. It's like the weirdest situation I think I've seen. This is weirder than like,
I don't want to talk a lot about the back stuff because like even you said, like who knows how true that is.
yeah, who
'Cause
knows
even
how half
even
this-
he tweeted that it's not, but like it's
you know,
just
like there's
annoying.
so many situations that could happen right now. It could be all true, and JT's agent's like, yo, like don't even like pay any mind to it. Just say you're fine, everything's fine. It could also be the Colts are playing petty, and they're like, look, if you want to play like this, we can play like this and put you on the NFI and say that you hurt your back in the offseason, and
Then you won't get paid.
then
At
you
least
won't,
this
you
year.
won't get paid. You'll get fined $50,000 for not showing up too. So, to put like a bigger dent in the Colts RB situation, Zach Moss gets hurt today, broken arm, out.
Yeah.
First report was 6 weeks. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that plays into around week 1, week 2 that he'll come back.
It's pretty terrible. I mean, I wasn't too like ready to see Zach Moss play, but just anytime you're presume he was going to start if JT
Yeah.
wasn't playing, I would imagine to see him break his arm is never fun. Now our depth chart is Evan Hull, Deion Jackson, and Jake Funk.
Yeah, I mean,
Assuming obviously JT, and I think
JT.
JT will play, but without JT, those are our running backs now that Zach Moss has a broken arm.
And I mean, Deion Jackson started last year a couple games, or I don't know if it's a couple, maybe like 1 or 2, but then we got Zach Moss. Zach Moss had a pretty good game at the end of the season, but now we're kind of, if JT doesn't play somehow, and we don't have Zach Moss to start the year.
Are we in that mode where we're saying JT's not going to be playing? I don't know if
At
it's
this
just
point, we have
me,
no
but I
idea.
just feel like all of this is gonna.
Well, I think there's no way you can request a trade I feel like, to request a trade, to go on the training camp field. We saw him out there. He had a hood up. I mean, today he didn't seem like he was too out of it. Like, he seemed like he was still walking around.
Yeah.
The photos that you see on Instagram and stuff just make it look like he's just depressed being out there. Like,
Well, that was one of the days. Those were real, obviously put pictures, but that was one day.
Yeah. So I think we're in a situation where it's realistic not to see JT come out. I don't think it's just so weird for me to see him request a trade and then not be able to get a deal done. JT's so stuck in his agent of getting this money, and
yeah, but wouldn't you?
But he
need to
didn't
be
pass the
playing
physical
for
either.
this
That's the
money?
thing. He couldn't pass the physical. So
Yeah, it's not like he would be out there anyways without this whole contract negotiation stupid stuff going on. Like, he wouldn't be playing anyways. Apparently, again, like I said earlier, I was under the impression coming into this season,
he was fine.
and I think a lot of other people was that he was ready to go. He had the ankle stuff. He had the surgery. He's had all
the
off
surgery
season.
was just a cleanup surgery too. Like, it wasn't like a Achilles or something like that. It was just a cleanup on the ankle. I don't even know what that means, to clean up a high ankle sprain. But not a doctor, but that just, I don't know exactly what surgery that is. But
Yeah, and then for him to come and fail the physical, start training camp on the PUP list, and then all of a sudden this contract stuff started, which you said it earlier, and we were talking about it earlier too, how Shaq, he got his extension this time last year while he was injured at training camp.
yep,
Quentin Nelson got, I don't know when
he was injured, but
he got his, like, JT is seeing these people be injured and get their extension, and that's what he's wanting, but at the same time, he's at a position to where he kind of has to prove it still.
The biggest thing about JT, I think, that a lot of the media is getting around is, what are RB's worth right now? Like, we don't know what they're worth. We got JT thinks he's worth the most in the league, but as you give him the money when there's other running backs out there getting paid less, like Christian McCaffrey. Well, he's not getting paid less now, but if he was to get the contract, like Christian McCaffrey, where he's going to be getting 20 carries, 5 catches, 6 catches a game, like, I don't think JT, off the top of my head, he doesn't get that. He might get 18 carries, maybe a catch or two, but
I also want to say, real early in this pod, I should have said it earlier, just in case people even care of my stance on it. I want JT to get his money. I think JT should get paid a lot of money because he's that type of superstar.
yeah.
But at the same time, a lot of these other running backs they just can't really accept in their head their position on a football team compared to paying a receiver, or paying a left tackle, or even paying a quarterback, obviously. Like,
Yeah.
you can't pay all these guys premium dollar.
Well,
Like, you kind of have to know your worth and just perform.
what's wild is like, JT was drafted, like, I think we listened to it this morning on the podcast. JT was
Second round, Colts traded up to him.
They trade up for him. They want this guy to be on the team. They want to be able to pay him, but I think there's just so much on disagreement of what it's worth to pay him, the injury, all that stuff. I think Jim Irsay also, I think on both sides there's a little.
You know who I kind of feel bad for right now, and it's kind of crazy for me to feel bad for this person because he's angered me a lot. Is Chris Ballard.
Yeah,
because bro, I said it from the first day. I think because the Saquon stuff came out, and then like all the running backs were tweeting that day, and JT sent a tweet, and like I said it right then and there. The Colts will always pay Jonathan Taylor. Like, they have had no intention of not paying him. It was gonna happen. Chris Ballard loves his guys. He pays his guys. He drafted him. Like you just said, we traded up to get him. We love this guy. I don't understand how this has turned into the Colts don't want to pay it. Like,
now, if I could bring up
like a clash. How are they clashing
it's just
right
a
now?
weird
Because
clash.
they've always been in agreement. I thought.
The thing that's weird here is I think a lot of people, we also heard this on another podcast this morning, but a lot of people, I guess you could say more the casual fans, don't think about this. But think about JT's stance also as an offense, where you're a basically bell cow running back. You're getting the ball, like 20 carries a game. You're not, I mean, he's not.
And remember how much we're like, bro, I want to see him get like 25 to 30 carries a game.
And it happened. He got 1,800 yards in that season, almost had an MVP season. But now you bring in Shane Steichen, where he comes from an offense that it's not like that at all. I don't know exactly how much they're trying to implement his offense into this system, but now you bring in a running quarterback. Like, pretty much everything they brought in, I'm not saying they're trying to do this. I think they're trying to make the team better, but I think also, do you think JT realizes what they're bringing into this offense does not benefit him at all as his role, if that makes any sense? So, like,
I wouldn't say at all,
as
but
his,
it's definitely not going to be a run the damn ball Frank Reich motto,
yeah, it's gonna be more of like you see the Eagle, like a lot of these teams that are winning. I think is a thing that a lot of people don't realize is if you look at these teams, a lot of the teams like the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Bills. I'm trying to think of another one, but these are teams that don't have a number one running back that's going to run 20, 25 times a game, and it's mostly receiving backs. These are people that are going to make plays catching the ball.
Yeah, their superstars are at the better skill positions,
and
receivers, stuff like that.
And that leads to a bias of some people being like, look, you don't need to pay a running back this much. You just go put your money other places, go get these young running backs that can catch balls, that can make plays doing that, which Jonathan Taylor can do that. But he's also a superstar running back. So it's like in that weird situation.
And me as a fan, I'm just sitting here thinking like, however Steichen's offense is going to change from the years past, it's going to benefit like everything around it. Like Steichen's not going to come in here and just be like, JT, you're not getting the ball. You're going to use you other like.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not superstar back like
I'm
with
not saying that's
a guy like Steichen and also a weapon on the field. If all goes to plan with Anthony Richardson, like there's no way that JT's not like happy here with like what he thinks his role is going to be. There's no way.
I think that it'll work out. That's why I think it'll work out. Steichen said that as soon as the injury, I think he said as soon as the injury clears up or whatever, he should be out there good to go. But
yeah, like he's on this football team.
It's up to JT what he wants to do, and I think that he wants to be a Colt. I mean, he owns businesses out here in Indianapolis. This is where he got drafted to. This is where he wants to be for his whole. He openly said he wants to retire here, but
yeah, which is pretty insane to say on a rookie contract. But I do, like, I love to hear that.
Yep.
I just don't, and also like, who's gonna trade for Jonathan Taylor? Honestly,
that's another.
Who's gonna trade for him and give him the money that apparently he wants? Like, who's gonna? There's no team gonna do that.
Why would you?
And now you're injured, apparently.
So why would you trade for Jonathan Taylor whenever you're going to pay him a shit ton of money? You're going to have to put him in your system, and you could have just got like someone like Zeke, Dalvin Cook, or something like. I understand those are players that right now aren't going to perform like Jonathan Taylor, but if you're going to pay the most in the league for Jonathan Taylor, and he might not even be able to play off the rip, why not just go get one of these filler guys like Dalvin Cook? Elliott. The biggest team that they're thinking that's going to get Jonathan Taylor, I'm not saying like it's going to happen, but the team that his agent has been liking on Twitter apparently is the Dolphins. So
you'll never catch me talking about that, man. I hate that.
That's a weird thing, man. I don't know what's up with him. I don't know if he's just he's like a.
Listen, I want to say this. I believe like this is the way I can see it in my head is that obviously the connection with Taylor and his agent is that he was Shaquille Leonard's agent last year. Like, I think Shaq had an original agent, then he switched to this guy. JT just recently switched to this guy. JT saw Shaq get his money last year when he was injured. JT's saying, okay, I need mine as well. Like, it's just JT is way too smart of a person. Like, apparently he was accepted into Harvard and Yale. We've always preached about his character, how smart he is, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
How is he letting this happen?
Well, the way I see it is it's probably a lot of things that we don't see, but
and the things that we do see are really bad, like Irsay getting involved in it. We can talk about Irsay for a bit if you want.
Yeah.
Like I feel like anytime Irsay gets involved with this team on a public stance, whatever way, it's bad, and it turns bad. That's what I was saying earlier about
Jim Irsay. It's weird,
bro. I never even really finished it. I brought it up, but I feel so bad for Ballard because he would they would have got this done behind the scenes. I feel like pretty fast.
Yeah. JT,
if like would have got his money, would have got his pay, la la la, and then this just turned to this.
But the question is, do you think they should pay him if it's really $16 million a year? Do you think that's what they should do, or
dude, it's so annoying with the injury stuff apparently, and however serious this injury stuff is because Jonathan Taylor, I would say, should be making the most in the NFL because he's that level.
Yeah.
But did we only get to see that for 1 year? Is that the life of a running back?
That's the thing that I'm thinking, man. Is like, I actually have like a little proposal I want to make to the NFL about this stuff. Is like, we should make there be more. What do you call them? Like you know how there's like bonuses and stuff. You get a certain amount of receptions and all this incentives. I think there should be more incentives in the NFL with especially running backs because like let's just. I mean, there probably already is, but I think there should be more. They should implement that more so that it doesn't seem like if you're a 30-year-old running back and you know that you're not going to get paid just because you're older. Well, what happens if you come out and you break out for 1,500 yards as an older quarterback? Or you're someone that's young on a young contract, not making a lot of money, come out there and put up 2,000 yards in a year. You should be able to
have a
get paid.
Crazy season.
Yeah. But
I mean, a lot of the incentive stuff are with the teams individually.
Yeah.
Like players have a lot of incentives in their contract, I'm sure, that we don't know about.
I mean,
I hear a lot about that with the NBA.
Be like, yo, if you put up 2,000 or 2 to 2,500 scrimmage yards this year, how about we make you
get paid,
guaranteed most paid in the league? But the thing is he's already kind of done that with the yardage he did 2 years ago. But the problem is he played a rookie year that was good. We realized he had talent. His second year, we full throttled Jonathan Taylor through the year. Third year, he's hurt.
You know what's crazy is we full throttled it and we still didn't remember we were still screaming use him more.
Yeah, I know.
He was that level
he
of freak.
Well, if he got 15 carries, I was pissed. I was like, bro, that dude needs 30 carries.
Yeah. And then like you said, last year he got hurt and the line was bad and the whole offense was bad. So last year was just terrible in many ways. Yeah. So now, dude, did we only get one good year at JT or will this get solved?
That's a bad question. I hate that question. I hate that question. JT, I think, has many years to come of being great. I think he's going to stay as a Colt. I hope he stays as a Colt. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm only saying this because I hope he does. But
I don't see a world where
I couldn't see a world where he's under contract with the Colts for 2 more years, but I couldn't see him getting traded. I couldn't see him getting paid that much somewhere else when they can go. I don't know. It's just
listen, in a perfect world, and JT, if you're listening to this, just get healthy, play for the damn Colts. Everything's gonna go good.
This is what I gotta say.
I'm saying that as a Colts fan. All right, just
if you truly think you're worth that money, you can play another year and make that money. That's the thing. If you're truly
all you gotta do is play the year.
If you think that you deserve that money and you're worth that money, you play another year and let that play out. You'll get paid. That's what I'm saying. I understand that you right now in your situation, you're like, all right, I've been in 3 years. I don't know the exact thought process. I can't speak on the exact thought process, but in my head, I'm seeing he's probably like, all right, I'm probably the best damn running back in this league. Pay me like I'm the best damn running back in this league. But
he will. You know, I believe this is the first time in his life as a football player that he's dealt with injuries. I'm not kidding. I think his crazy stat was throughout his entire high school, college, early NFL, he was never injured. And now
it's because we used
one
him
injury
30 times a game.
Exactly. Because in Wisconsin, they made the analogy. It was like it's not a Ohio State or an Alabama running back where they're switched in and out, boom, boom, boom. You're only rushing a couple times a game. Nah, Wisconsin for all 4 years ran him that was their offense. Was JT's powerhouse. So
and really,
he gets injured for the first time. I don't know first time, but first major injuries. How does his body respond now? And is that maybe why the Colts are reluctant?
Yeah, I think that he's not I'm trying to put this into words. His ankle isn't even that bad of an injury if you really think about it.
I don't really remember much about his.
I'm pretty sure it's a sprained ankle, right? That's what happened, right?
Yeah. It's nothing major.
It's not an Achilles. It's not an ACL. It's not an MCL. It's not his ligaments.
Nah,
it's not anything like that. So it's it's still I hate to say it, but it's not a bad injury. He still had to have surgery for it. It's not like it's going to really affect you too much, like an Achilles.
Yeah.
A lot of Achilles people don't come back from that. Look at Marlon Mack. I mean.
Yeah, for real. And that's kind of our point is how is this major big deal?
Yeah.
I blame Saquon Barkley. I'm going to stand by that forever, bro. He started crying, and JT's all the running backs were whoa, we should hop on this. Get on a Zoom call and talk to each other. No.
And I want to say this on the podcast too. My stance, as if there's people on two sides of this. Pay the running backs. Pay the running backs. People are don't pay the running backs. I'm on the side that if you're a running back and you are someone like JT, you deserve the money. Okay, but I think it's a little early for. I don't know. It's such a hard decision, but I think for running backs, if I was a person that was trying to scheme an offense, I'm realizing that these teams that are winning the Super Bowl and get up there, they're playing with a committee running back group. Like, it's going to be a couple running backs back there. Look at the Chiefs. They had
like 2 or 3 deep.
Pacheco, McKinnon, Clyde Edwards when he was healthy. Like,
that was the Eagles thing last year as well, like we were saying earlier.
Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, like Boston Scott. Like,
now, it's not all that. I can understand the side of, well, it's not all about just making it to the Super Bowl. But when you're these teams, that's kind of something you have to look at. Of, okay, what's working other places and what's holding us back? That's been the discussion forever.
I think we kind of are in a similar spot, I guess, soon to be, like, as the Giants, because didn't they just pay Daniel Jones like a shit ton of money?
I believe so.
They paid Daniel Jones. Now they're paying Saquon. I don't know too many teams that are paying quarterback and running back top in the league. And if Anthony
another thing about the Colts that we're not really talking about that much is, like, when are we going to pay Pittman? Because Pittman's exactly. That's also when him and JT came in at the same time. So the Colts have that to weigh as well.
Do you think JT's agent is actually scared of his injuries and thinks that, I'm just saying this out there, and thinks that maybe we need to be like, look, man, we're going to get paid this year. Like, that's something I don't want to, like, make a just.
Because it worked with Shaq, even though I full to God and truly think that Shaq will come back. Like,
oh, yeah.
Fine. But it's the same guy.
Well, even he had
same client.
Since his last injury, he had an injury before that too. And he came back for a little bit. And when he came back for a little bit, he was making plays out there. I think he played like one game, didn't he? He got hurt that game.
Last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played that one game.
Yeah, he played against Washington. And then
yeah.
Wasn't that good.
So,
but back now.
Outside of this JT stuff with the Colts, we went to the training camp twice. We actually got pretty close up from mostly the D linemen. Is there anything that stood out to you at training camp so far for this past week?
Well, the first day we were there and watching videos online from the indoor practices, just Anthony Richardson, bro.
Oh, man. Yep.
I don't care about anything else. I didn't even want to go today, to be honest, because I'm only there to watch Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
But, like, it was fun, and we went. But, like, dude, just watching him play, I'm just grinning because, like, we've had to watch so many of these just, like, has-been guys where they come in here and you're like, oh,
Ryan
like,
Wentz.
And it's finally fun to, like, just watch this such raw talent that Anthony Richardson has and all the upside he has. So that's even he wasn't even practicing today, and I was just watching him because I'm like, dude, that is our guy.
Yeah, Bailey's over here going, hey, Richardson, like trying to get him over there, which we actually ended up getting pretty close to him whenever he walked out towards the
he got mobbed.
Yeah, he got mobbed. There's a lot. Everybody in Indy's wanting him right now. Like, I think one thing that we're not talking a lot about from training camp is I keep looking over at the offense and Ogletree's catching the ball. That's the thing that I kept realizing. I didn't see any other tight end make that many catches. Like, I'm talking like, I think I didn't watch a lot of tight end work that he caught the ball. Like, these were like an offense. O versus D he was doing. He was making a lot of catches.
I don't remember watching a lot of them from like the first day, like any of the tight ends. I remember never really watching or thinking about Jelani Woods, and then today I saw a lot of Granson as well.
Yeah,
Granson and Ogletree.
Ogletree, I don't know how they're gonna run this offense. It looks weird. I don't know if they're just right now in the training camp just trying to make the simple plays. Like, I remember last year they ran to me it seemed like a different offense than they did in the preseason towards training camp. Like, it was weird. But another thing I realized is we have Downs and McKenzie. I'm looking like some really nice slot, just scrappy guys playing.
And that McKenzie said today, yes, and Steichen loves his slot guys. You saw it in Philly. You see it now. That's a big reason why they got Josh Downs. That's a big reason why they were so happy that they were able to get Josh Downs.
Yeah.
Like, that should be fun to watch. I do want to hint on Ogletree because no one's going to know who Drew Ogletree is if they don't know the Colts. He was a rookie last year, tore his ACL in training camp, or was it in training camp or preseason? It was before the season started. But he's coming off an ACL injury. I think it was late training camp because he was having a really good training camp last year.
Yeah.
It's good for them to, like, now that he's healthy, to, like, get him going again. Because he has a lot of upside. He's a Youngstown State guy. 6'5", 260 tight end.
Jesus. Another thing about the Colts is I realized, so I have very good football IQ, but I do not know this formation, like, or what this sort of is called, where you have the wide receivers go into the backfield and do like the little spin in the motion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how
like an end around, like start that way and then.
So you would see like Tyreek Hill like kind of thing where they go in motion from the slot or whatever, go into the backfield and do like a little loop almost into like a screen pass like that. They're doing a lot of that. I like it. I think it's something that it makes the defense just have to have an extra eye on. So that's something cool to see that I've actually never seen the Colts run before.
It's good to have a guy like Steichen doing that.
Yep.
Like implementing that kind of stuff, knowing that's like what his kind of style is. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's very fun to watch. I just hope Josh Downs can live up to what I mean, he's looking great. So, also, Cody Case, if you're watching this and you're on the training camp, dude, you unfollowed us on Instagram, and it's kind of crazy. And we saw you make a nasty play today, though.
Peep that catch. That was nice.
I'm so mad I didn't get a video of it. That catch was disgusting. I don't know who that came from. I think it might have been Ellinger, but
it probably was.
But
Jackson said dude's gonna make the team.
Well, he's gonna make the team
just off that one
play.
catch.
Just off that play, the Colts are bad. Look, we gotta throw this guy on.
Because that was like a late Ellinger scrambled, found him, one hand toe tap.
Yeah, if you guys don't know Cody Case, he's an Illinois receiver. I realized we have a lot of undrafted free agents from Illinois, so there's probably a connection.
I think we have like 2. I don't think we have a lot.
I think it was like 3 or 4 I saw, but
damn.
Cody Case, the first time I saw him out there, I'm gonna be honest. This is not a shot, but I thought he was a kicker. I'm just being honest.
Listen, this is what you get in a July podcast. We're talking about training camp, guys. Who the hell is Cody Case?
I don't know, man. But the thing is, bro, I'm hyping him up. I saw that catch.
No, that's good gas. I saw that too.
It was a nice catch. But to be honest, when I first saw him, I saw 13. I was like, oh, it's T.Y. Hilton, like just joking around, and I thought he was the kicker at first, man. He's like 5'10". Short guy, but apparently he ran like a 4.4 40 or something like that. It might have been like a 4.38. Now I'm thinking about it.
Pro day.
Yeah, it was some crazy. I'm probably the only reason they saw his training camp or his pro day. But
yeah.
Anyways, off from the 7th man wide receivers.
For real.
Let's get talking about. I guess the last thing we can talk about as well is the rookie quarterbacks. How are they looking in training camp and what to expect from these guys moving on? There's one thing we didn't really talk about too much last time we talked about these guys is the people that they have around them.
Yeah.
I'm slowly learning about the Panthers more, and I'm liking it.
Yeah, but they got Frank Reich, so they ain't going to do nothing.
He might ruin that. I'm just kidding. He won't ruin the team. He's a good coach. I just think that we had a weird Jeff Saturday was the coach after him here, so.
Yeah, he was.
Bryce Young was the quickest rookie to be made starter. He was he was the first pick, so
yeah.
They made him start day 1. I forget who's behind him, to be honest.
Dude, can we just talk about Anthony Richardson, bro? I don't care about anything else on this fucking list, bro. I want to talk about the Colts.
We can talk about AR first. We
didn't even get to see him practice today.
Yeah, he had some like nose septum thing so he could breathe better.
Is he starting week 1?
Yeah, I think he is. I don't think there's no way that.
I think he'll definitely show them enough and develop enough, even though you can't really develop a lot until you get regular season NFL. You're looking at a real defense, a real Sunday defense in the NFL. Like obviously that part's going to come, but there's just no reason not to start him.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson should start week 1. I think that's like they've already said this many of times. Is Anthony Richardson like the only way he's going to grow is by playing. Gardner Minshew is going to be the bench, I think.
So you want to hear this kind of funny story is when Isaiah McKenzie was on this morning, he said when they were here for spring, like their first initial workouts, Anthony Richardson's first time out there, McKenzie kind of like hinted that like Richardson was like kind of ass. And not like ass like skill wise, just like he just came from like college, like how little he played, like it was looking like rough.
Yeah.
But he said like even like he's like always growing, always showing improvements, like especially where he is like just even right now. It's like Anthony Richardson's a dog. But he said he started like he was just like kind of bad. I don't know what like bad really means, but like just wasn't. He was kind of like eh. And then even to where he is now is just night and day.
I mean, Isaiah McKenzie's coming from Josh Allen too, the regular season god, not playoff season.
Damn. Subtle hint.
Shots. If you guys haven't seen, we have many videos about Josh Allen, how Joe Burrow was above him and Tua. So
You ain't lying.
Tua's the one's a little crazy, but is AR the most electric QB we've seen? Like, even when he's out there playing, we watched him. He's just so. I don't know.
I cannot wait for his first 50 to 60 yard run in Lucas Oil for a touchdown.
This is okay. I hate to say this on a Colts podcast when we're talking about Colts, but
people are gonna roll their eyes, bro. They don't get it.
Well, you've been hearing me talk a little bit negativity towards the Colts going in. Truly, I'm super high on this. I want Anthony Richardson to just ball out, be the best quarterback ever, and Andrew Luck's blown out of the water by this guy. That's what I want. But in all reality, the way I think this is going to go down is I think Anthony Richardson comes in the beginning of the year and just completely is inexperienced. I think that's what happens. He's inexperienced. We're going to lose games. I think he's going to throw many picks. I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to be able to do the ground running part great. I think
that's him, though.
So I think Gardner Minshew comes in the middle of the season. I think he wins games. Might even end the season with that. But no, I'm serious. I'm serious. It scares me, man. That's what I'm putting in my head right now, so I don't get hurt. Because that's what I'm picturing this season to be. Is Anthony Richardson comes out, shows potential. We realize he's inexperienced.
So you're thinking we're gonna bench Anthony Richardson because he's gonna do so bad, and then Gardner Minshew's gonna finish out the season for us? What is that gonna do?
I might have just made the stupidest take on the Tiebreaker podcast that we've ever heard.
That's up there for sure.
But I'm saying this so I don't get my shit. I don't get.
No, I know what you're saying because we've said this. We've had this conversation many times off of the pod.
It always looks so good, and the worst thing, it looks so good for the Colts. Andrew Luck retired. Looks so good for the Colts. Now JT might not even be a Colt no more. That's what always happens to us, man.
No, that's called being a fan. That we can't have nothing nice.
No,
but
take that take away. Anthony Richardson's gonna be the best quarterback of all time. So there you go.
Damn. Now I do want to say it's very realistic. We can stop with the bias to me glazing Anthony Richardson, but in all reality, he's gonna make lots of mistakes. I know a lot of these projections and power rankings and stuff early on with the Colts. They only have us winning 4 or 5 games again, which I think our schedule
will be the Texans twice.
I think our schedule is more favorable than recent years, and I have our defense should still be pretty solid. I have a trust in our offense. We'll at least score points this year.
We did lose Gilmore.
We're not gonna be that. We're not gonna be that terrible. But dude, after all I just said about all the mistakes Richardson's will make, I would much rather watch him make mistakes.
Oh yeah, than Matt Ryan.
Than any of us that we've ever had to watch since Andrew Luck left.
Yeah.
So we're finally at that stage where we can watch this guy fuck up for a year or two and still be okay with it because that should be our guy.
The thing that is, I know I just said a whole bunch of crazy shit, okay? I'm saying that for the sake of
this man just said Anthony Richardson would be benched for Gardner Minshew.
No, this is what I'm saying. I'm trying to get my mind. I feel stupid now, but I'm trying to get what I'm trying to say is that I'm not trying to get my hopes up for this stuff. I want him to be the best quarterback ever. I seriously think that if his pass game isn't the best when he comes in and starts as a rookie, no matter what happens, his run game is going to be so good that it's going to be better than anybody else that's on the field for us. So
yeah.
Put Agreed. Him in, run him Wildcat. We're not going to lose a goal line.
I wonder how Steichen's going to take that because I don't know any of these stats off the top of my head, nor am I going to go look them up while I do this.
I want the Jalen Hurts run up the middle for Anthony Richardson is what I want. The whole line.
We'll probably see that a lot. Yeah, we'll probably see that a lot.
That killed us when we played the Eagles, bro. It was driving us nuts. That won them the game. We literally would not stop it. There was nothing that we could do. I want to show a clip with this. Literally, the Eagles were just doing this every play. Hurts up the middle.
To win the game.
All right.
But luckily, we should. That should be something we see with.
Don't comment about what I said about Anthony Richardson in the comments. I'm trying to just save my insanity for me. Bro.
It makes for good content.
I'm trying to save my insanity. I do want to talk about these other rookie quarterbacks though, because I think it's good to talk about because we can compare AR to them and see what I think his stance is. So AR splitting first team reps. We have Stroud, which apparently is looking to the media, the worst out of all three of these quarterbacks right now. Him and
For
Davis
real?
Mills.
I haven't seen any. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen anything about anybody. So
Well, Davis Mills started the first couple days as the number one, which is probably expected. That's a rookie coming in. Apparently, to this day, they're still splitting reps. What was it?
I wouldn't put much into that though, because that's still what the Colts are doing.
Yeah, Stroud doesn't want to. I heard that Stroud was struggling and that he actually was struggling with the playbook. So he's put a lot of effort into that. They don't want to make a quick decision yet. I think they should. This is the one thing that I say is put Stroud in. You saw what happened with Mills. He's a decent quarterback that can be a backup in the league. Just put Stroud in, dude. Just put him in. Davis, I don't know. But
yeah,
Bryce Young.
I'm on that side of the fence with a lot of things with like young players in the NBA or the NFL. Like,
just put him in. Like,
especially where you draft them. If you're drafting a guy in the top 3 or 5 of the first round,
put him in.
Throw him in.
Yeah.
What are they gonna learn not playing?
Bryce Young was made the start day one. They're doing it right. I don't know who the backup is. Can you show me that real quick? I'm gonna look this
On
up
Panthers?
on my phone. Yeah, Panthers backup. It's someone I know.
Panthers quarterback depth chart. Makes for good content right here. Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton's the backup there. I thought he was.
Andy
I thought
Dalton
Andy
and
Dalton was.
Matt Corral.
No, that's Sam Darnold that plays for the. Apparently, Sam Darnold's starting. Not starting, but he's over Trey Lance on the depth chart right now. And
yeah, I heard Trey Lance has been struggle city.
Yep. The big.
Which I
thing,
like Trey Lance, so I hate that.
The big thing I'm liking for the Panthers is Bryce Young apparently is looking really good. I've seen clips of him. He's been hitting DJ Chark in a lot of deep throws. He's very accurate. He's the smallest of all these quarterbacks. I think he's probably, if Anthony Richardson doesn't have the year that we're wanting, I think that Stroud becomes the rookie of the year, or not Stroud. Bryce Young becomes the rookie of the year. He has so much. There's so much there for him. He has the coaching staff around him, or I guess Frank Reich. I feel like he came here.
All right, let me ask you this. Who has better help around him at the receiver position, Anthony Richardson or Bryce Young? Because Bryce Young has Adam Thielen, DJ Chark.
I think it's even. That's very. You can argue about that one though. I think it's even because Richardson has people that could break out, like Downs,
Pierce,
and Pittman, which is he's like a solid B plus. I'd say B plus, A minus receiver.
Still got to see a lot from him. I agree with you.
He's got a lot of different tight ends. He has so much depth. I feel like to be able to hit. The thing in Carolina is they want to throw it to Sanders more. The owner told Sanders he wants him to get at least 50 catches this year.
Wow.
They have Adam Thielen now over in Carolina, which that brings a lot of knowledge to the group of the wide receivers. They drafted Jonathan Mingo out of Ole Miss. He's a very talented receiver, but we don't know there. And also they have, like I said, DJ Chark. But DJ Chark has always been a receiver that's had weeks where he's like really fucking good, and then you just don't hear his name no more. So,
yeah,
I would say it's actually pretty even, leaning the Colts, just because of Pierce and Downs. Actually, with Isaiah McKenzie, you got to go at Richardson, I guess.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. I think they're both really good quarterbacks for show.
All right, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow the Instagram. Go to our TikTok. We are shadow banned right now. But
I think we are.
I don't know, man. We be uploading and it's just not performing like it was. But our YouTube.
I just want everybody to follow the show on Apple or Spotify to listen to it, and then go subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yep. And if you
That's all
guys,
we ask for.
And if you guys are still listening to this episode all the way this deep, comment live because we want to do live podcasts on YouTube. Got to figure out the OBS thing for that. But
especially like now that the season's like kind of started again.
Yep. If you like I said, if you're still in the podcast right now listening, go to our YouTube, whatever you're on right now, and comment.
Wait
live.
a second. Imagine a live watch party every Sunday, like in the living room or something. Have some cams set up.
That would be insane. Hopefully we can
have a chat going.
That would be actually nuts. We have to get something going on with that.
Tiebreaker watch party.
Yeah, and if you're someone that has knowledge in live podcast, hit me up.
Same.
Peace.
Episode 50. Come on.